What would you do if you saw a beggar sitting quietly on the street every day? Most people would pass by without looking twice. But Amanda, a kind-hearted 7-year-old girl, chose to do something different. Every day after school, she secretly took food from her mother's small restaurant and gave it to a hungry beggar sitting across the road. People warned her, "Stay away from him, he might be dangerous. He could be a kidnapper." But Amanda didn't listen. To her, he wasn't a stranger. He was just a hungry uncle who needed kindness. What Amanda didn't know was that the man she was feeding was hiding a life-changing secret. A secret so shocking that when it was finally revealed, it would leave the entire neighborhood speechless and change Amanda and her mother's lives forever. If you love emotional Nigerian stories filled with romance, kindness, and unexpected twists, then you're going to love this one. Don't forget to like this story, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next powerful episode. Now sit back, relax, and let the story begin. In a busy neighborhood of Lagos, where yellow buses honked loudly and traders shouted prices from morning till night, stood a small but lively restaurant called Mama Amanda Kitchen. The restaurant was not fancy, but the smell of freshly cooked jollof rice, fried plantain, and pepper soup pulled customers in like a magnet. Inside the restaurant moved a hard-working woman named Ngozi. She was strong, cheerful, and respected in the neighborhood. But life had not been easy for her. 4 years earlier, her husband had died suddenly, leaving her alone to raise their only child, Amanda. Amanda was just 7 years old, but she was already known around the street. Not because she was troublesome, but because she was too kind for her age. After school, each afternoon, Amanda would walk toward her mother's restaurant, wearing her sky-blue school uniform and carrying a small pink backpack. She always greeted everyone on the street. "Good afternoon, Mama Kemi. Welcome back, small madam," the woman selling roasted corn would reply. "Uncle Musa, how market today?" "Better now that I see you," the man would laugh. Amanda giggled as she skipped along the road. But there was someone she always noticed from a distance. Under a dusty almond tree across the road sat a quiet beggar. His clothes were old, his slippers looked tired. His beard had grown so thick that it almost covered his face. Some people dropped coins in his bowl. Many people ignored him. Some even insulted him. "Go and find work, lazy man." But the beggar never argued. He simply sat quietly and watched the busy world move past him. Amanda noticed something others didn't. His eyes looked kind. The first act of kindness. One afternoon, Amanda stopped walking. She stood across the road, watching the man carefully. Her small stomach tightened. He looks very hungry," she whispered to herself. She quickly crossed the road and entered her mother's restaurant. Inside, customers were eating and chatting loudly. Ngozi turned and saw her daughter. "Amanda, welcome back from school." Amanda hugged her. "Mummy, can I have 1 plate of rice?" Ngozi laughed. You didn't even greet me well before asking for food." Amanda smiled sweetly. "Good afternoon, Mummy." "That's better." Ngozi packed a small plate of rice with stew. "Go and sit down and eat." But Amanda didn't sit. Instead, she quietly carried the plate outside. Ngozi didn't notice. Amanda walked across the road again and stopped in front of the beggar. The man looked surprised. The little girl stretched out the plate toward him. "Uncle, you can eat this." The beggar blinked in shock. "For me?" "Yes," Amanda nodded proudly. "My mummy cooks the best food in Lagos." The man slowly accepted the plate. His voice became soft. "Thank you, little angel." He began eating slowly, like someone who had not tasted a proper meal in a long time. Amanda sat beside him, swinging her legs happily. "Is it sweet?" she asked. The man chuckled. "Very sweet." Amanda clapped excitedly. "I told you!" A small friendship begins. After finishing the food, the beggar wiped his mouth carefully. "What is your name, little one?" "Amanda." "And where are your parents?" Amanda pointed proudly across the road. "My mummy owns that restaurant." The beggar looked toward the restaurant thoughtfully. "And your father?" Amanda's smile faded slightly. He went to heaven 4 years ago. The man nodded slowly. I'm sorry. My mummy says heaven people watch us. The beggar smiled gently. That means your father must be very proud of you. Amanda beamed. Really? Yes. Then the man began telling her a story. A long time ago, there was a young lion who was afraid of everything. Amanda leaned closer, her eyes wide with excitement. And then what happened? The lion discovered something very important. What? That courage lives inside the heart. Amanda gasped dramatically. Wow. They both laughed. The warning. Just then a woman passing by stopped and stared. Small girl. Amanda turned. Yes, Auntie? What are you doing with this beggar? Amanda blinked. I'm talking with him. The woman shook her head quickly. You better stay away from him. Another man added loudly. He might be a kidnapper in disguise. Amanda frowned. My mummy says we should help people. The woman sighed. Children of nowadays. But Amanda ignored them. She simply turned back to the beggar. Uncle, don't mind them. The man chuckled. I'm used to it. Amanda stood up. I will bring water tomorrow. The beggar looked surprised. You will come back? Of course. Then she skipped away happily. The beggar watched her go with thoughtful eyes. For the first time in many days, he smiled, because he knew something the entire street did not know. The little girl who had shown him kindness had just walked into the life of a man hiding a very powerful secret. And soon, that secret would change everything. The next afternoon in Lagos, the street was as lively as ever. The sound of honking Danfo buses, traders shouting prices, and the delicious aroma of freshly cooked jollof rice filled the air around Mama Amanda kitchen. Inside the restaurant, Ngozi was busy serving customers. 2 plates of rice and chicken? Coming, she shouted from the kitchen. Outside, Amanda appeared at the gate of the restaurant after school, her pink backpack bouncing behind her. But today she looked around carefully first. Then she whispered to herself, Mummy must not see me. She quietly slipped into the kitchen. Mummy, Ngozi turned. My princess, how was school today? Amanda hugged her waist. Fine, Mummy. You did your homework? I will do it later. Ngozi shook her head and laughed. You children of nowadays. Amanda looked toward the pot. Mummy, can I take food? Ngozi raised an eyebrow. You just came from school. Are you not tired of eating? Amanda smiled nervously. I'm very hungry today. Ngozi packed a small plate of rice and stew again, but this time she watched Amanda closely. Amanda grabbed the plate quickly. Thank you, Mummy. Then she rushed outside before Ngozi could say another word. The street friendship. Amanda crossed the road carefully and walked toward the almond tree. The beggar was sitting quietly like always, but when he saw Amanda, his face brightened. Ah, my little angel has returned. Amanda grinned. I brought food. The beggar laughed softly. You will spoil me one day. Amanda placed the plate in front of him proudly. My mummy cooked fresh jollof rice today. He began eating again. Amanda sat beside him and removed her small water bottle from her bag. And I brought water too. The beggar looked at her with admiration. You are very thoughtful for someone your age. Amanda shrugged. My mummy says kindness is free. The beggar chuckled. That woman raised you well. As he finished eating, he asked gently, So, how was school today? Amanda sighed dramatically. Maths was trying to kill me. The beggar burst out laughing. Mathematics cannot kill anyone. It almost killed me. What question did they give you? Amanda opened her notebook. The beggar studied it and quickly explained the solution. Amanda's eyes widened. Uncle, you are a genius. The beggar laughed loudly. Not a genius, just an old man who likes numbers. The stories continue. After helping with her homework, he began another story. Amanda, have you ever heard the story of the eagle that grew up with chickens? Amanda shook her head eagerly. No. The eagle believed it was a chicken because it lived among them. It never tried to fly. Amanda leaned closer. But one day, it discovered it had wings. Her eyes widened. And it flew? Yes. Amanda smiled brightly. So it became the king of the sky. The beggar nodded. Exactly. Amanda thought about it. So you are saying people should try things? Yes, he replied gently. Because sometimes we are stronger than we think. Amanda clapped excitedly. Uncle, your stories are better than cartoons. Neighbors began to talk. But not everyone liked what they saw. Across the street, a group of traders whispered among themselves, "That small girl again. She is always talking to that beggar." One woman shook her head. "Something is not right." Another man added, "He might be pretending. Kidnappers use tricks these days." One woman finally shouted across the road, "Amanda!" "Yes, Auntie?" "Stop going near that man." Amanda crossed her arms stubbornly. "He is my friend." The woman gasped. "Friend, Kay?" Amanda simply ignored them and turned back to the beggar. "Uncle, people in this street like gossip too much." The beggar laughed. "That is one thing that will never change." The secret continues. For several days, the routine continued. Amanda brought food. They talked. He told stories. He helped her with homework. And every day, Amanda returned home smiling. But slowly, Ngozi began to notice something strange. Amanda was always asking for extra food. Sometimes she even carried water bottles away from the restaurant. One evening, Ngozi frowned slightly. This girl is hiding something. But she didn't say anything yet. She simply watched. Little did she know, her daughter's small act of kindness was about to reveal a secret that would shock their entire street. And soon, Ngozi would discover who Amanda had truly been feeding all this time. The sun rose brightly over the busy streets of Lagos, and the neighborhood slowly came alive. At Mama Amanda Kitchen, the smell of freshly cooked jollof rice, beans, and fried plantain filled the air. Customers were already gathering. Inside the restaurant, Ngozi moved quickly between tables, serving food and collecting payments. But her mind wasn't fully on work. For several days now, something had been bothering her. Her daughter Amanda had been asking for extra food almost every afternoon. Not just small portions, full plates. At first, Ngozi thought nothing of it, but yesterday she noticed something strange. Amanda didn't sit down to eat, she simply took the food and disappeared. Ngozi frowned slightly as she wiped her hands on her apron. "That girl is hiding something," she murmured. A mother's decision. That afternoon, Amanda arrived from school, smiling as usual. "Mummy." Ngozi looked at her calmly. "How was school?" "Fine." "Homework?" "I will do it later." Ngozi crossed her arms. "You and later are now best friends." Amanda giggled. Then she looked toward the food pots. "Mummy, can I have rice?" Ngozi stared at her carefully. "Again?" But she decided to pretend everything was normal. "Okay." She packed a fresh plate of jollof rice and stew. Amanda grabbed it quickly. "Thank you, Mummy." Then she rushed out again. Ngozi quietly wiped her hands and followed her, but she kept a safe distance. Amanda skipped happily down the road. Then she crossed the street. Ngozi's heart began beating faster. Where is she going? Amanda walked toward the almond tree. And then Ngozi saw him, the beggar. He was sitting there exactly as people had described. Old clothes, messy beard, a small metal bowl beside him. Ngozi's heart tightened. My God, please let this man not be dangerous. She hid behind a small kiosk nearby and watched carefully. What she saw, Amanda walked straight to the beggar. Uncle! The beggar smiled warmly. My little angel. Amanda placed the food beside him proudly. I brought lunch. The beggar looked touched. You shouldn't be doing this every day. Amanda shrugged. My mummy cooks a lot of food. The beggar laughed softly. Ngozi watched carefully. She expected something suspicious, maybe anger, maybe rough behavior, but instead, the man spoke gently. So how was school today? Amanda sat beside him happily. Math teacher almost killed me again. The beggar burst out laughing. Mathematics cannot kill anyone. It almost killed me. Ngozi blinked in surprise. Then she heard something else. The beggar began telling a story. Amanda, let me tell you about a fisherman who refused to give up. Amanda listened with excitement. Her eyes sparkled. She clapped at the funny parts. She laughed loudly. Ngozi slowly stepped closer. Her fear began fading. Instead, she saw something she never expected. The beggar spoke like an educated man. His words were calm, wise, respectful. almost like someone who had once lived a comfortable life. Ngozi whispered to herself, "This man talks like someone that once had money." The moment of confrontation. Finally, Ngozi stepped forward. "Amanda!" Amanda jumped. "Mummy!" Her eyes widened in shock. "Mummy, I can explain." The beggar also stood quickly. "Good afternoon, madam," he said politely. Ngozi folded her arms. "Amanda, so this is where the food has been going?" Amanda lowered her head. "I'm sorry, Mummy." Ngozi turned to the beggar carefully. "My daughter has been feeding you." The man nodded respectfully. "Yes." Ngozi studied his face. Something about him didn't match the image of a street beggar. His voice, his posture, his calmness. She sighed. "Why didn't you stop her?" The man smiled gently. "I tried." Amanda protested quickly. "I forced him." The beggar laughed. "Yes, she did." Ngozi tried to remain serious, but Amanda's honesty almost made her laugh. A surprising conversation. Ngozi sat down on a small bench nearby. "So, what is your story?" The beggar looked down briefly. "Life can change quickly." Ngozi listened quietly. "Sometimes people lose everything they built." His voice was calm, but heavy with experience. Ngozi felt pity for him. "You must have suffered." He shrugged slightly. "That is life." Amanda suddenly hugged him. "Don't worry, uncle. My mummy cooks every day." Ngozi laughed softly. "You have adopted him already?" Amanda nodded proudly. "Yes." Ngozi looked at the man again. He seemed harmless. In fact, he seemed kind. Very kind. She stood up slowly. "You know what?" The beggar looked at her. "You cannot keep sleeping on the street." Amanda's face brightened. Ngozi continued, "If you want, you can stay in our house for now until you find your feet again." The beggar froze. "You mean that?" Amanda screamed happily. "Uncle is coming home." The beggar looked deeply moved. I don't know how to thank you." Ngozi waved her hand. "No problem." Amanda grabbed his hand excitedly. "Come, our house is not far." As the three of them began walking home together, none of them knew something shocking. The quiet beggar they had just welcomed into their home was hiding a secret that would soon shake their entire world. That evening, the small compound behind Mama Amanda Kitchen in Lagos was unusually lively. Amanda skipped ahead excitedly as she led the beggar through the small gate. "Uncle, hurry! Our house is this way!" The man followed quietly, looking around the compound. Though the house was modest, it was neat and warm. The sitting room had modern Nigerian touches, soft brown leather chairs, bright Ankara throw pillows, and a shiny glass center table. On the wall hung a large framed picture of Amanda and her late father. The beggar paused briefly and looked at it with respect. Ngozi noticed. "That is my husband," she said softly. "He passed away 4 years ago." The man nodded gently. He must have been a good man. Amanda quickly interrupted the emotional moment. "Uncle, come and sit. Today you are our guest." Preparing the bath, Ngozi walked into the bathroom and turned on the tap. Soon warm steam filled the room. She placed a clean bucket, soap, sponge, and towel inside. Then she came out and handed the beggar some clothes she had just bought from a nearby shop. "Go and take a proper bath first," she said kindly. Amanda stared at him seriously. "Uncle, scrub very well, oh." The man laughed. "I will." Amanda whispered loudly to her mother, "Mummy, his beard has small birds inside." Ngozi burst out laughing. "Amanda!" The beggar laughed too. "Don't worry, the birds will move out tonight." Amanda nodded seriously. "Good." The miracle bath. 20 minutes later, the bathroom door opened. The man stepped out wearing clean clothes. Amanda froze. "Eh?" Even Ngozi blinked. Without the dust and dirt, the beggar looked completely different. He was tall, his shoulders were broad, his face looked younger and handsome beneath the trimmed beard. Amanda slowly walked around him like a detective. "Uncle, are you sure you're the same person?" The man laughed. "Yes." Amanda shook her head. That bath worked miracles. The barbing salon adventure. The next morning, Ngozi said, "This beard still needs serious attention." Amanda nodded. "Yes, Mummy, the forest must go." So they took him to a nearby barbing salon. The barber looked at him and nearly dropped his clipper. "Oga, This beard has been in government since 1999. Amanda burst into loud laughter. Mummy, he said the beard is older than me. The barber wrapped a cloth around his neck. Then he began cutting. Hair kept falling, and falling, and falling. One man waiting for a haircut whispered, "This barber is harvesting bush." Another customer laughed. By the time the haircut finished, everyone in the salon stared. The beggar now looked like a completely different man. Clean haircut, sharp jawline, confident posture. Amanda clapped loudly. "Uncle, you are handsome." The barber nodded proudly. "My hand no be small." Neighbors began to gossip. When they returned home, neighbors began whispering. One woman peeped from her window. "Is that not the beggar from the street?" Another replied, "Yes-o, but see how he fine now." A man joked loudly. "Maybe he is a secret prince." Amanda heard them and shouted proudly, "He is our uncle." Ngozi shook her head laughing. This girl. Settling into the house. Over the next few days, the beggar slowly became part of their home. He fixed broken pipes in the kitchen. He repaired a leaking tap. He even helped strengthen the restaurant's wooden tables. Ngozi watched him work one afternoon. "You seem to know many things." Life teaches many skills. Amanda ran into the compound with her homework. "Uncle, maths is attacking me again." He sat beside her and explained the problems patiently. Within minutes, Amanda shouted, "I understand." She hugged him excitedly. "You are better than my teacher." Laughter in the compound. In the evenings, Amanda dragged him outside to play. They kicked a small football around the compound. Amanda shouted, "Uncle, pass!" He kicked the ball lightly. Amanda missed it and fell. "Ouch!" Then she stood up and laughed. "Don't tell Mummy I fell." But Ngozi was already watching from the doorway. "I saw everything." Amanda froze. "Mummy, I was testing gravity." Ngozi laughed loudly. "This girl will finish me one day." The beggar smiled quietly as he watched them. For the first time in a long time, the house felt warm again, full of laughter, full of life. And slowly, deep inside his heart, he began feeling something he never expected. He was starting to fall in love with Ngozi. But he faced a difficult question. Should he tell her his real identity first, or ask her out before revealing the truth? And very soon, his decision would lead to a moment that would leave everyone shocked. Life in the small compound in Lagos had begun to feel different. Only 1 week had passed since the beggar moved in, but it already felt like he had been part of their family for years. The once quiet house now echoed with laughter. Amanda's laughter, Ngozi's laughter, and sometimes the deep, calm laughter of the man they once knew only as the beggar. Every morning, Ngozi left early to run Mama Amanda Kitchen, where customers rushed in for plates of hot jollof rice, beans, and fried plantain. Meanwhile, the man stayed behind fixing things around the house. He repaired broken pipes, tightened loose doors, even helped improve the wooden benches in the restaurant. One afternoon, Ngozi watched him quietly as he fixed a leaking tap. "You seem to know many things," she said. He smiled slightly. "When life knocks you down, you learn to fix many problems." Ngozi nodded slowly. There was something about the way he spoke, something deep, something wise, but she didn't ask too many questions. The man's secret feelings. Later that evening, after Amanda had finished her homework, the man sat quietly in the compound. The sky was turning orange as the sun slowly disappeared. He looked toward the kitchen where Ngozi was cooking. His heart beat a little faster. "Should I tell her who I really am?" he thought. "But what if she becomes angry?" He sighed. "Maybe I should ask her out first." At that moment, Amanda appeared behind him. "Uncle." He jumped slightly. "You nearly gave me a heart attack." Amanda laughed. "What are you thinking about?" "Nothing." Amanda squinted suspiciously. "You are thinking about Mummy." The man nearly choked. "Who told you that?" Amanda crossed her arms confidently. "I'm a detective." The courage to ask. That evening after dinner, Amanda went to bring water from the kitchen. The man took a deep breath. This was the moment. "Ngozi." She looked up. "Yes?" He cleared his throat nervously. "I would like to take you out for dinner." Ngozi froze. "For dinner?" He nodded slowly. Amanda walked in at that exact moment. "What dinner?" The man looked embarrassed. Amanda's eyes widened dramatically. Uncle is asking my mummy on a date. Ngozi covered her face. Amanda! Amanda jumped happily. This is romance. The man laughed nervously. Yes, something like that. Ngozi's doubt. Ngozi looked at him carefully. Where will you get money to take me out? He hesitated. From the little money I saved while begging. Amanda gasped. You have savings? The man nodded proudly. A little. But before anyone could say anything else, Amanda ran into her room. A few seconds later, she returned carrying a small pink piggy bank. Take this. Ngozi was shocked. Amanda! The man looked confused. What is that? My savings. He laughed. No, I cannot take a child's money. Amanda shook the piggy bank stubbornly. Mummy needs to be happy. The room suddenly became quiet. Amanda continued softly. She has not been happy since Daddy died. Ngozi's eyes filled slightly with tears. The man looked at Amanda with deep emotion. Then Ngozi spoke gently. No. They both looked at her. The dinner will be on me. Amanda clapped loudly. Yay! But the man quickly said, one condition. Ngozi raised an eyebrow. What? Amanda must come with us. Amanda screamed happily. Best date ever! Preparing for the date. The next evening felt strangely exciting. Ngozi wore a simple but elegant Ankara dress. The man dressed neatly in the clothes Ngozi had bought for him. When Amanda saw him, she gasped. Uncle, you look like a movie actor. He laughed. And you look like a princess. Ngozi shook her head, smiling. You two will not finish talking today. The small but beautiful dinner. They went to a small local restaurant nearby. The place wasn't luxurious, but the atmosphere was warm. They ordered plates of jollof rice, grilled chicken, and cold zobo. Amanda talked non-stop. Mummy, when you marry Uncle, will he live with us forever? Ngozi nearly choked on her drink. Amanda! The man laughed loudly. Amanda continued confidently. I already approve him. Ngozi shook her head. This girl has no filter. The dinner continued with laughter and stories. They talked about life, dreams, and memories. But one thing remained hidden. The man still didn't reveal his real identity. And as the night ended, he realized something important. He was no longer pretending. He truly cared about Ngozi. Very deeply. And soon, he would take a step that could change their lives forever. Because the next thing he planned to do was something bold, something shocking. He was going to propose marriage. The small compound of Lagos was quiet that evening. The sun had set, leaving a warm orange glow over the streets. The smell of Mama Amanda Kitchen's dinner still lingered in the air, mixing with the aroma of fried plantain and pepper soup from nearby stalls. Inside the compound, Amanda was playing with her toys on the floor, while Ngozi was cleaning up the kitchen after a long day. The man, still known to everyone as the uncle, stood quietly near the window, watching Amanda laugh. His heart pounded. It had been weeks since he moved in, and his feelings for Ngozi had grown stronger every day. Every little laugh from Amanda, every kind word from Ngozi, had wrapped him in warmth he had not felt in years. And tonight, he had decided. Gathering courage, he took a deep breath, muttering under his breath, Chinedu, you can do this. Just be honest. Be bold. Don't mess this up. Amanda ran past him, giggling. Uncle, help me with my homework. He smiled. Later, my little princess. Later. Ngozi appeared in the doorway, wiping her hands on her apron. Everything okay? She asked, noticing his nervous demeanor. He nodded quickly. Yes, everything is fine. But in truth, his heart was racing faster than the Lagos traffic. The proposal. Finally. After Amanda ran off to get a small gift she had made, he approached Ngozi. Mummy, Ngozi, he began, his voice shaking slightly. Ngozi raised an eyebrow. Yes? He dropped to one knee, suddenly startling her. What is this? Are you okay? She exclaimed, her hands flying to her mouth. He looked up at her, eyes full of emotion. Ngozi, I know I came into your life unexpectedly. I came as someone broken, someone who seemed nothing. But you showed me kindness. Your daughter showed me innocence and love that I have never felt in years. And now, I cannot imagine my life without you. Will you marry me? There was silence. Ngozi's eyes widened. Amanda ran in at that exact moment. "Mummy, say yes," she shouted, clapping her hands. Ngozi turned to Amanda, frowning. "Amanda, don't interfere." Amanda ignored her mother and ran to hug the man. "You are the best uncle in the world. Mummy must say yes." Ngozi looked from Amanda to the man kneeling in front of her. She remembered all the days he had helped around the house, how patient he was with Amanda, how respectful he had been, and something in her heart melted. Finally, she smiled. "Yes, I will marry you." Amanda screamed so loud it echoed across the compound. Wedding, wedding, wedding. Preparing for the wedding. The days that followed were a whirlwind of excitement. Neighbors came by to congratulate them. Some whispered, some laughed, but the street was alive with energy. Amanda ran around telling everyone, "My mummy is marrying uncle. My mummy is marrying uncle." The man, now more confident, helped Ngozi plan small details for the wedding. They agreed on a beautiful ceremony in the neighborhood, with simple decorations, enhanced by bright Ankara fabrics, colorful ribbons, and flowers from the local market. Amanda, of course, was in charge of ensuring everyone smiled and laughed during the wedding. The helicopter surprise. On the morning of the wedding, everyone gathered in the compound, buzzing with excitement. Suddenly, the sky roared. A helicopter appeared above the compound, landing smoothly in an open area. Amanda froze mid-step. "Mummy, look, he is coming from sky," she shouted. The man stepped out from the helicopter in a sleek suit. His polished shoes gleamed, and his confident smile made the street fall silent. Amanda's jaw dropped. "Uncle, you are rich?" He laughed gently. "My name is Chinedu Okafor. I am a billionaire, but all that doesn't matter. What matters is, I want to spend the rest of my life with you and Amanda." Ngozi felt faint, overwhelmed by the revelation. Amanda, however, was already running in circles, screaming, "The billionaire uncle! My mummy's billionaire uncle!" Neighbors gasped, whispered, and laughed. "Did you hear that? The beggar was a billionaire all along." The wedding continues despite the shock. The ceremony went on. Ngozi, radiant in her simple but elegant Ankara dress, walked down the makeshift aisle, holding Amanda's hand. Chinedu waited at the altar, well, a decorated area in the compound, smiling proudly. Amanda threw flower petals everywhere, laughing uncontrollably. The officiant, a local elder, blessed them, and the couple exchanged vows. When Chinedu kissed Ngozi, Amanda cheered so loudly that even the neighbors joined in. And from that day forward, the little girl who once gave food to a beggar had helped change not just his life, but hers and her mother's too. Because sometimes true love and kindness reveal miracles in the most unexpected ways.